Fellow Nigerians, it is no longer news that our country, Nigeria, is undergoing very difficult times. There is fire on the mountain. I would like to start by appreciating our gallant men and women in uniform who continue to risk their life to keep our country warm and safe. Unfortunately, we are very distressed to hear from the government of Nigeria through the Emir headquarters that 47,975 terrorists have surrendered. They are terrorists, but Nigerian media deodorize them by calling them bandits. I am standing here to respectfully disagree with that number. 47,975 people, that is the population of Ifedayo local government area of Osun State. You cannot tell us that that number has surrendered when 1,743 of our compatriots were killed in the first quarter of 2022. You cannot tell us that that number surrendered when 10,366 Nigerians were killed in the year 2021. You cannot tell us that that number surrendered when 500 soldiers and police officers have been killed within 2 years. You cannot tell us that that number surrendered when at least 300 soldiers have recently resigned. We must stop deceiving ourselves. We cannot continue like this as a people. Over 180,000 ammunitions were reportedly stolen from the Nigerian armory of the Nigerian police. Since then, the government have set up a panel to investigate the circumstances surrounding the theft. Since then, nothing has happened. Why? Whenever this government of Muhammadu Buhari and Yemi Osinbajo wish to sweep matters under the carpet, they open so-called panels. They set up panels to investigate the cases of corruption against former chairman of EFCC, Ibrahim Madu. Nothing happened thereafter. They set up panel to investigate forensic investigation of the Niger Delta Development Commission. That report was submitted since September 2021 to the Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, till now, as I'm speaking to you in the month of November 2022, 1 year after, no result of that panel was released. ENSA's panel was set up, no result came out from that panel. For how long shall we continue to mortgage the lives of Nigerians and unborn generations? I am a military scientist. I am talking from a professional point of view. I challenge the Nigerian army to show us those 47,975 terrorists that have surrendered. They surrendered and they are threatening to kidnap the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. As I'm speaking to you now, 13 students of the government college in Kebbi State have been kidnapped for over 16 months. They are still with kidnappers and nobody is talking about them. 30 children have been kidnapped from their farms in the state of Katsina, where the governor, the president comes from. And you are telling us that they surrendered? They surrendered, and Nigerians cannot be told the network that these terrorists are using. When terrorists surrender, you use them to gather information to arrest their colleagues that continue to terrorize our country. What is the use of the national identity number? Which network are these terrorists using? What is the Minister of Communication, Issa Pantami, hiding from Nigerians? It is not enough that the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, continued to beg the Nigerian senators for more money to fight so-called misinformation and fake news. That is the result of ignorant persons that we have in government. Arrogance in uncreativity. Where are the 49,975 terrorists that have surrendered? When our country is not safe, some people are busy struggling to budget money for census. How can you organize census in many states that are not safe? Simply because some people want to inflate budgets and put money into their pockets in a country that is borrowing to pay interest on huge loans. Over 2 trillion naira was budgeted for security in Nigeria. Where is the money? Where is the money? That budget was higher than the budget for education and health. Till date, our country is not safe. And we have a retired army general as the president, a retired army general as the Minister of Defense, a retired army general as the National Security Advisor. Buhari swore to protect our country. He is being paid to protect our country. Today, since 2015, nothing has improved in Nigeria more than the health of Mr. President. We must refuse to continue like this. Nigeria belongs to each and every one of us. Most of us will live abroad, but our hearts are heavy continually for what we hear about our country back home. Was this the reason why this government came into power? They promised us change. They promised us next level. Now somebody is talking about renewed level or renewed hope. And we are all silent when Nigerians now pay taxes to terrorists. There are many streets you cannot enter in Nigeria. Borno State is in comatose. Zamfara State has fallen. Niger State is on its knees. Kebbi State is in fear. Kaduna State has a parallel government with terrorists, according to the governor of the state. State governors continue to steal security votes. They protect themselves and their families with armored vehicles, with bulletproof vests, and they are being escorted with police officers who are exposed. And you are telling us that 47,975 terrorists surrender. Where are they? They are being pampered, they are being accommodated, but our soldiers are suffering in the bush. Our police officers are being killed on the street. They are being ambushed by the so-called repentant terrorists. This is not possible. I respectfully challenge the Nigerian army and the federal government to please tell us who are the 47,975 terrorists that repented. Where do they live? What do they do now? How much do they receive monthly? Why do you pamper terrorists when our soldiers and fellow Nigerians are being killed? Why? These things are happening for the simple reason because people have decided to politicize security. We're a country that has no security and welfare does not have a government. Once upon a time, the so-called militants of the Niger Delta, they were granted amnesty. Fake names, ghost names were put in that list because some people were putting money into their pockets. Now, some politicians, especially from the north, believe that this is now a time for them to take their national cake. Therefore, they are allegedly putting in fake names as repentant terrorists. They are putting their money in their pockets in a country that is borrowing to pay interest, not substantive loans, interest on loans. And our country is bleeding. Our country is bleeding. We respectfully ask the Nigerian government to secure our country. We ask the Nigerian government to secure our country. We know that there is no political will from Muhammadu Buhari to secure our country. We know. And it is a shame that terrorists told Nigerians openly that Buhari knows what they want. What do they want? Is there an agreement to surrender our country before the 2023 elections? Buhari should tell us what they told him. Was there a compromise? Does it mean that the national intelligence agencies and DSS don't know what is going on in our country? Who is fooling who? We want to use this opportunity to call on the Auditor General of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to kindly audit payments made to the 47,975 terrorists. Who are they? Let them be identified. Our police officers are protesting because of delay in salaries, but you pay terrorists. No. Nigerians must begin to wake up and to ask questions, because we have no other country than Nigeria. We shall not allow a few persons and their gang members to destroy the country that heroes fought for before we got our independence. We cannot allow them to destroy our country. They steal the oil, the government will be stealing oil of the people, borrow money in the names of the people, and you loot in your names? No!